So as you can see, I have my wife go through and touch up any little areas that I may have missed on the van before I primed it. And yeah, that is a deer in my garage. And pretty much this is what she thought.
Step into my office.
Why?
Because you're fucking fired.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So, if you've been watching, you will realize that I am out of shit to paint. Now, as far as the van goes, we have the roof all done. The entire thing is all jammed out. We have all the little pieces that bolt on it, all painted, such as like the hood, the visor cowl, the upper visor, or the wiper cowl, upper visor, bunch of stuff. So, what we're going to be doing today for the second time and for the last time, see, all jammed out, we're going to be putting the fender flares on, and we're going to be bonding these on. I just don't like the look of them just bolted on. I'd rather them look like they were built there. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Could be right, could be wrong, but it should work. So I'm going to set this on a tripod. We're going to get going. Alright, we're getting ready to bond this first flare on. I'm not going to record the other three, although I probably should in case something gets messed up. So what I did was, now before I bond this, I am going to clean both sides. I did sand down the edge here, so I have a nice clean edge there. I went through and you can see I marked exactly where all my screws are. So I'm all lined up where I have to be. The tape is on here just so once I put the Bondo on, I can just pull the tape off and I don't have to worry about sanding out here because it gets messy. Ideally, you don't want to use a lot of activator in your Bondo because, you know, you need working time and you don't want this shit to you know, harden on you while you're in the middle of doing this. So what I'm using here is this Evercoat Body Shop Extra Strength Reinforced Filler. Really good stuff. I'm very happy with it. I think I got it at like Advanced Auto or AutoZone because they didn't have the Gorilla Hair that I normally get, but I actually like this better. So this should be a fairly easy process. I mean, it does get a little harder when you fill it and you can't see the holes, but that's what the marks are for. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to set this on the tripod, mix up some Bondos, pull this off, clean it, and we'll see how this first flare goes. And I'll time-lapse it for you guys. Alright guys, you know the rules. I get the cool music, you guys get the YouTube music.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Alright, I'm calling that a pretty good first coat. I'm gonna let this cure up a little bit. I'm gonna put a second coat on her when it's still just barely tacky. And then we're going to move on. Alright, so that looks pretty bonded on. I mean, anything else, once I shape it, I'll just use the lighter weight Bondo. I'm not going to need this, but that should not be cracking. So, while this dries, we're going to move on to the back. Same concept, nothing really to see. This time we're using something with like a straight edge so we can scoop it better. We're all clean. Let's fill her up. All right, that's the first stage. Now we're gonna mix up some more and throw it on her. Here we are, all bonded in. So, passenger side, she's complete. So, this side, not quite dry. Can't sand it yet, I should say. I mean, it's dry to the touch. But I got plenty to do because I got the driver's side. And that I'm not going to record, but trust me, I'm not going to not do it. Yeah, that made sense. Here we are, 1 hour later. And took care of the hard side. It was a little tight, but she's all done. This one's still wet. Just finished her up. So, probably should have did the backs first because then it'd be dry enough where I could just roll onto the roll pan. So, I think I'm gonna have to wait. Maybe go out to dinner, come back. It'll be all dry. Start working on the back. So let's see where we end up. All right, I decided not to wait. We're moving on to the back where we have the roll pan going in. Now I mocked this up. You can see I drew a line where it ends up. I gotta drop down because we're gonna go through. We're gonna fill this up. This corner is a little wonky. It's gonna take a lot of mud. We're gonna fill this up to about here. We kept one screw in. And then once we get this in, we'll pop one screw in here. We'll pull that out and put it in. So I'm gonna get some mud mixed up and we're gonna get this on. See you in a minute. All right, man, that looks like a lot of mud. That's because it is. Now normally your bumper would cover this whole corner because this doesn't, you know, exactly contour to the van. Granted, this part was rotted out and someone tried fixing it at one point. That might have been me actually. And yeah, we had to motor up some. So this is the first coat. Now I did pack it in really, really thick underneath this. So this is gonna bond to this. When that happens, I'm gonna pull these screws out. I am gonna go back later on and I am gonna tack a couple of screws in here. Maybe 3 with some caps. But I had to fill in this corner because if you watch the videos, you know I have a nice thin 67 Camaro bumper. And it goes like right here. So I'm gonna have to mold this. Get it kind of round. So we're gonna let that dry. I think we can, let me see how dry this is. Well, this is solid, so yeah, we can put the other side on. So I'm gonna run down to the basement and grab that. Day 2 of the fender flares, and now we're stuck with the suck part. So we're gonna be sand and filling. I'm not gonna record this because it's gonna be boring. But as you can see, we got a pretty nice assortment. We got the DA with some 60 grit on it. We threw a flex wheel on the Contour SCT. We got a nice little round drum here. That might get me into some tight areas. And then we just got a little flap disc there. So I'm gonna start going. I'll update you guys as to what's working best. And we'll see where we end up. Little update. We got her sanded. We got our first coat of high bond filler on her. Here and back here. So now, I'm not really a fan. I don't know if you can see this body line here. You can kind of see it. So I'm going to flatten this out. And we're going to work from this corner forward. So we're going to grab the reinforced filler again. Flatten this out. So I'm going to get on that. All right, pretty smooth. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, that's pretty thick. That's going to crack. Well, I'd be willing to bet you 20 bucks that this doesn't crack. All you got to do is send me 20 bucks, and if it does crack, I'll send it back. Sounds fair to me. All right, day 3. Even though yesterday I only worked like 2 hours, it's still a day. So I put another coat of Bondo on here, and in the back. I'm gonna go sand that down, see how it looks. I did start going through, cleaning up the back. I'm gonna go through, put another layer of the Gorilla Hair on this. And you can see it's getting there. It's getting there. So let me get on this. I'm hoping that maybe I can get at least these fenders into prime so I can see any little nicks and stuff I gotta do. So we'll see where we end up. Here we are, day 4 on the flares. This is taking me way longer than it should. I swear, man, at this point, it would take me an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes. So anyway, kind of screwed up. I never scuffed the paint. So when I bonded it, the Bondo just kind of fell off. So gonna go through sand this. I already fixed this. I had to peel it all off, scuff it all down, reapply it. So we're gonna be putting some Gorilla Hair on this right here, getting that blended in. While this is drying, we're gonna go back. You can see we got some Bondo here. We're gonna clean this up, look for some scratches and whatnot. We did get this side, this sanded, and well, no, we got it Bondoed up after we sanded the Gorilla Hair. So we can sand that. Then we're just gonna be left with this front one. But yeah, this roll pan's kind of killing me. I think I'd probably be done if it wasn't for the roll pan, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So we're gonna keep on going, and I'll keep you updated. Okay, hopefully that is the last I need of the kitty hair, because I ain't got much left. I almost burned through this whole gallon. So we're gonna go Bondo up the right hand side while that dries, and then while the right hand side is drying, we're gonna be sanding the left hand side. So we got shit to do. All right, here we are on the last day of the flares. Getting ready to lock these in with the epoxy primer. You can see went through, touched up with the glazing and spot putty, all the little tiny areas that we needed to hit. And we got a couple of little parts here that we're gonna spray since we got the primer out. So let's get to this, see how it comes out. And finally, after about 5 days on and off working, here we are with the finished product. As you can see, absolutely no line whatsoever. I think I mentioned in another video I did fill in this whole gap here. There was a body line. A little tip, throw a couple welds in between these two just so this doesn't crack at all. But yeah, overall, I'd say we're in pretty good shape. The flares really weren't hard to bond in, at least not when comparing it to the roll pan. So the roll pan, this was a bitch, as you know. You know, it's about a 1/4 inch deep, so I really had to do a lot of blending here to get everything to work out. But yeah, came out really good. Pretty happy with it. I think it looks so much better than just staring at that ugly gas tank. And yeah, even the seam here, you can't even see it now. Now I'm sure there's gonna be 1 or 2 little areas like pinholes that I gotta hit when I prime the rest of the van, so that's no big deal. Over here, this side, you can see. Well, this is as good as you're gonna see because don't really have a whole lot of room. Yeah, pretty happy though. Happy to be done with this. And for the most part, hard part is done now. Really don't have a whole lot of mud to go. Couple little, you know, at this point, just spot putty. So, rest should go pretty quick. I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the day, well, hell, we're just gonna pretty much start on a fender and start sanding our way back. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, get off the couch and get in the garage. All right, so it's been a week. Kevin, walk us through what we got done, man.
All right. Well, you got us set up a little bit, and what we did was we pulled the engine apart all the way down to the block there, and we put fuelie heads on, a upgraded camshaft with a little bit better profile. We put on a Edelbrock 4-barrel intake and roller rockers, some upgraded parts in here, nice double roller timing chain setup, 1-wire alternator, and then last but not least at all, we added some long tube headers. So we got that all together, and then we got the headers on, and then welded up the exhaust over to the fresh side pipes over here.
which now that they're all on, they can come back off for body work.
Yep, now they can come back off.
Good times.
Yep. So we got that all done. And then
We dropped her in the front.
we dropped her in the front with some drop spindles.
You can see we went down 2 inches. Man, that's actually pretty close when it turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. We learned the hard way not to hit a big bump where you get a nice little tear in your tire.
Yep.
When it
May have to work
when
with
it kisses that little piece of metal up there, which, you know, may have to hammer that in a little more.
work with maybe some type of taller bump stop, you know.
Yeah. Now we know potholes are not our friend.
We did some wiring cleanup in here.
Yeah, a lot of the wiring was trash.
So we got that situated where we could, you know, have a nice base so we could, well, Scott could, you know, finish the inside. Then we did the automatic shifter on the dash, which was the, you know, bunch of engineering going on.
That's all on separate video.
Which is on a whole different video. Scott
We
put
threw in
his giant screen,
We threw in the iPad stereo,
which is really cool.
which we are going to go back and probably run a little bit of plexiglass around this just to clean it up a little bit more.
Yep. Some yellow acrylic, I guess, right?
Yep.
Match the doghouse.
Yep. And then today, last day before we go to the airport, we did the jail cell. Started it. The rest is all easy. Now it's just a matter of leveling it up perfectly, putting some latches on it, some sort of roller at the bottom. So, yeah, I'd say it was a pretty busy week. And yeah, we did finish some wires back there, ran some new stuff because it was just junk.
seats are in. They can come back out now.
We also dented the
Oh, yes,
the garage
we- yep.
door. That was fun.
That was fun.
That's in another.
Good times.
Well, we show some of the aftermath in another video, so maybe you hunt around, you could find it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a quick summary, but that was a week's worth of work plus 2 days. You know, one night and one full day at a Carlisle swap meet, which we both got a good amount of stuff for both of our projects that we're currently working on. So that definitely helped us out. And it was also some cool time together, man.
Yeah.
Far away, you know. And
It's gonna be,
it was cool because
Probably not till fall when I'm out in Arizona.
Yeah. But if you guys have watching the channel and remember, you know, Vandemic, this is exactly where this van was built. And now we're working with free candy. So totally fun. Check out all our videos and like, share, and subscribe. Tell your buddies. But I think that's pretty much it, huh?
Yep.
All right.
So stay tuned after the credits. I'm sure I'll find some sort of blooper to throw in there.
Oh, there's some blooper. And we also have some of the yes, I did cap this off, but we'll keep going. There is some footage that we're going to be kicking out for the walk of the swap meet, which is fun because I got to talk to some people and see some of the stuff I walked by that we all missed. So.
Yeah, we don't know. It'll probably come out before this video.
Yeah, sure will.
It will be the easiest one to edit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, get out in the garage and do some work. That'll be it.
It's not going to do it itself.
Exactly.